Hello and welcome to the channel. We're glad you could join us today. We're taking a look at another one of the 5 national parks in Utah. This one is Capitol Reef. The park was originally established as a national monument by President Roosevelt in 1937 to protect the area, the geological area, and the section of the park which is, actually part of the name of the park comes from it. It's the Water Pocket Fold, which is a monocline, which is just a tilting of the earth. It's caused by tectonic forces. The same forces that actually caused the entire Colorado plateau to lift up several thousand feet, and this occurred between 80 million and 35 million years ago. It's part of a mountain building event which occurred in that time period, created the Rocky Mountains, created the Black Hills of South Dakota, and a bunch of other geological formations. This particular area is a result of the tremendous forces that are evident during that period, and the rocks in the reef itself have tilted up almost vertical in some places. Other areas in the park which are sedimentary rocks as well, but those rocks are still relatively level, and you can see the layers in the various pictures as we go through. The area was originally inhabited by American natives around 1000 AD. There's a year-round river that flows through there, the Fremont River, as we call it today, and the Indians in that area established farms and fields, and they grew maize and squash, and I'm sure hunted animals in the area as well. Somewhere around 1300 AD, the area was abandoned by those Indians, and no one is exactly sure why, what happened there. They just simply left. The presumption is that there was probably a prolonged drought which dried the river up, which mean they no longer had irrigation water available for their crops, and so they moved on to another area. White men came into this area, of course, in large numbers in around the 1800s, the late 1800s, to populate the area. And some of those early pioneers were seafaring men, and they referred to anything that blocked navigation or blocked travel as a reef, much as an ocean reef would block a ship's travel. They gave the same name as a reef to the landlocked areas that they came into. And when you see the pictures of the Water Pocket Fold, you will see what they were talking about. It's nearly impassable to get through there, even with modern technology. There's really only one road, which is an old cattle trail up the side of the reef itself. The Capitol comes from one particular rock, which does bear a resemblance to the Capitol dome of the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. It's white limestone, so it does look the right color. There are other areas where the spires have caprock on them of limestone, so you see a lot of different places where the rocks kind of remind you of the dome of a Capitol building. So that's the Capitol. The reef comes from the fold, which is what prevents passage through the area except along the length of the valley. There's 100 miles of this fold. It's the largest exposed fold in North America, and about 60 miles of the fold are encompassed in the national park. Thanks for joining us today on our visit to Capitol Reef National Park in Utah. We hope you enjoyed the video and got some useful information if you choose to visit the area about the things you might see along the way. If you like the video, we'd appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. We'd also appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. That does help us out. In the meantime, we'll be traveling the highways and byways of America, and we hope to see you somewhere in our travels. Remember, as you travel around, keep her between the ditches.